Pretty sure this isn't coming through Bluetooth. Yeah, okay, good. Kind of want to talk about video games, and I think I kind of already have, but I'm not sure. Oh, we'll just reiterate here. So video games, huh? Kind of useless? Or no? You decide. The question is, how useful are video games? And again, the scale of useful to uselessness to teaching actual practical skills. Yeah, that's an interesting question. There are fun yet challenging, purely educational tools. Thinking like Robot Odyssey, or choose your level of difficulty in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that is like people who play that on realistic mode can more or less fly the planes. Like actually, literally, it's that good of a simulation of a reproduction. But something like Robot Odyssey is designed to teach you logic and the use of like real-world components to accomplish some end. So it's basically training you in the context of a video game in the use of real-life materials so that you can learn the proper way to use them, implement them. And that's what's kind of interesting about that, is that that's pure logic. Like, I can't really teach you how to swing a baseball bat with a controller, but I can teach you how to think like you need to think if you're doing one of these things on the job. So that's kind of interesting. But Dark Souls. So this game is it came at exactly the right time when an industry was really stagnating, and I mean, it was like the IKEA version of a furniture store. It's, we see a giant segment of the market that is not being catered to by anyone at all. No one cares about these people. And if we can sell them some games, that'd be great. So they made it dialed in specifically to those people. And, started with Demon Souls, and they're pretty much the same game. I don't think there's much argument about that at this point. But they made the game, and then people were like, wow, this is completely different from my experience in every other game. Because I actually feel challenged, and I actually feel victorious when I do something. I actually feel like I accomplished something, instead of just pressing A to win. Press A to advance the plot line. But no matter who you are, when you start playing a Souls game, you are, whatever your first Souls game is, you're going to have that moment where you hit the wall. And even when people tell you that you're going to hit the wall, and even when people warn you of what you're going to have to do, you still kind of don't get it until you've actually hit it yourself. The first Souls game I had played, I forget who it was. One of the bad guys I ran into, I had used, I think I had used the rapier from the beginning, so just like a lightweight poking weapon, and it carried me through a large portion of the game. And then at one point, it was horrible. It was useless. And this enemy, I want to say it was a falconer, I don't remember, but he would parry me, he would just destroy me, and I would get nothing. Like, I would die, go back to the bonfire, I would run back to this guy and fight him over and over. You do that for like an hour, and by an hour I mean it takes you like 3 minutes to die. So you do this like 20 times, and you're about to snap your you're about to throw your controller. I'm not an angry guy. I'm certainly not a throw your controller kind of guy. Dark Souls makes me want to throw my controller. That game is really something. Some of it is, but once you hit that point and you realize, hey, this isn't working, the way that I want the game to play is not working, I'm going to have to think about how the game wants me to play. Suddenly, everything changes. You go back to that guy, and I think I had switched to a spear. I got the rapier. I used it on pretty much everyone. I learned the moveset, and I went, okay, I guess I'm done. Like, this is good. This will carry me through the game. And then I had to go back to the blacksmith and find something. I'm like, I'm gonna go with a spear because this is like this. I can keep this guy further away from me. And I did that, and went back and killed him my first try. Just ran right through him. And I was like, well, how does that make sense? and then it starts to click. You're like, oh, I need to adjust. I need to understand that there's going to be different challenges, and I need to not get set in my ways. I need to be flexible. I need to adjust. Improvise, adapt, overcome, all that stuff. So once you realize that, it becomes more of a puzzle. You're no longer pressing A to win, R1ing to win, but you are bending to the will of the game rather than saying, oh, this is the same experience. I'm going to run to the next linear progression of things and press A until I win, until I'm at the boss, and then I'll press A until I win. And once you get that, once you pick that up, you start to realize, like, okay, why does my rapier do terrible damage against skeletons? And if I switch weapons, is that going to do more damage? And yes, it does. There's mechanics you have to figure out, things you need to think about. How am I managing my stamina? It's all there. And it's all almost completely optional. I think that's what the game kind of does. I think that's what's kind of interesting about it, is the game doesn't say, hey, tooltip, warning, it looks like you're about to fight a skeleton. You should probably use a strike weapon. They do extra damage against skeletons. Nothing comes up. And all you have is, some stats and some obtuse mentions of different damage types. And you just try stuff. And then at that point you wind up running into a new guy, and then things go badly, and you go, okay, let's back off and then heal, and we'll regroup, we'll open our inventory, we'll say, what do we have here? Let's try this. And oh no, that went badly too. Let's switch to something else. Let's try that. And oh wow, I staggered him. Like he can't deal with this attack. Like, okay, great. Let's move ahead with this. Or use this for just this guy and then switch back. That's the skill. There's one other thing. And this is particular to Dark Souls 2, is there's lag times in the attack. Everything pretty much pretty well telegraphs the attack, and I think everyone got the hang of that in Dark Souls 1. And in Dark Souls 2, there's a delay to the wind up. It's a little bit longer, fraction of a second longer than you would expect, and then it improved the tracking. So the guy winds up, I'm gonna swing my overhead axe, here I go, and then you go, oh, dodge, and then he goes, oh hey, you just dodged, hang on a sec, let me finish winding up, and here we go. And you get crushed, and you're like, but I dodged at the right time. And no, you didn't dodge at the right time. There's a lot of enemies in that game that are, they have the wind up, and then there's half a beat, and then it comes down, and it's all very well animated. And if you pay attention, you can see it, and you can wait for it, and you can trust your skills to press B not to die, and actually accomplish it. Like it punishes you for freaking out. It punishes you for anticipating. It punishes you for mashing the dodge button. That's that's the other thing, is you have to be in control of your dodge button. You have to be in control of your movements, because if you are not, you'll freak out, dodge early, you'll freak out, mash heal before you know what attack is coming next, and before you know if you even have time to heal. And then you wind up, you know, dying while you're quaffing the Sunny D, the Mountain Dew. So you've got a game that you are ostensibly meant to enjoy, but the game in Soviet Russia, game plays you. You have to adjust to the game, and that was sorely lacking in most AAA titles. And so it filled the niche, and people were refreshed by it. You know, it was a breathtaking change. They're like, whoa, this isn't holding my hand. Whoa, you know, I'm rewarded for experimentation. Whoa, I'm actually rewarded for testing things out. There's also the stuff that's kind of nonsense, like the pendant. The pendant that does nothing, which is just obscurity, you know, obfuscation for obfuscation's sake, which is just like, Miyazaki's just messing with you. He's just trolling you, which is what he does, which is part of the charm of the game, if you can call it charm. But I don't know. So the point is, you have this game that you have to adjust your thinking. You have to take this frame that you've been in for so long, this context that you've been in for so long, and say, this doesn't work here. I have to stop and break out of this. And I have to start paying attention to the game, and I have to test, not read, you know, not expository dialogue, not read computer terminals, you know, just sit there squinting at the screen of text, reading. I have to test. I have to try things. I have to just try stuff and figure out what works and what doesn't work, and what doesn't make sense. Because there are things that don't make sense. Also, I'm punished for freaking out. I'm punished for losing self-control, I guess is the right way of putting it. Because if you lose self-control, you're going to mash that Sunny D button. You're going to try to heal when it's not time to heal, and you're going to be punished for it. You know, you're going to roll early, and you're going to be punished for it. You're going to wait. You're going to dodge too early before you see which attack is coming, and you're going to dodge in the wrong direction, and you're going to be punished for it. And the game requires of you self-control. It requires you to test and experiment. It requires you to go, oh, okay, good. You know, don't mash heal, don't mash heal, don't mash heal. Don't freak out, calm down. You know, and it's that feeling, and this is a specific feeling that I will probably never forget, of fighting one of the early bad guys, one of the early bosses that's really just meant to kill you. And at that point, fighting him and then missing a parry, which is its own difficult game mechanic, and then being down to a sliver of life, and my thumb raises and it says mash heal, and I said, don't mash heal, don't mash heal. Go back, be calm, don't freak out, focus. Like don't what's it called? Don't get in your head. The game's trying to get into your head. It's trying to troll you, and you have to remain calm. You have to be cool. You have to be collected, and you have to get the next 3 parries and win. And I did. I was ready to freak out. I missed the roll. I got hit. I had a sliver of health. I went, oh no, I'm about to die. I don't want to die. And I did not mash heal. Self-control. So it's an interesting thing. I bring this up particularly because I've beat that game, not like I haven't like destroyed that game. I haven't done like everything there's to do in that game because it's a Dark Souls game. There's lots of stuff to do. But I'm trying to do a no death, no bonfire run, and it is playing it this way is the most tense game I've played probably since PUBG. Like, I haven't resolved something or gotten through something and been like, you know, you're playing and then you start and I can feel my heartbeat pounding in my chest because I'm on adrenaline right now. I need to get this. I need to get away. I need to do something. And that's a different experience. Being able to control yourself in that adrenaline state. It's a completely mental exercise. And not playing like this, playing like, oh no, I died again, but playing like, if I die here, I'm gonna lose 10 hours and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna start from the beginning. It's a completely different way to play the game. And From recognized it. From said, this is something some crazy person's gonna try to do, and we're gonna reward you for it. And hats off to them. Cheers.